Hello, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Bert. This is Dilbert's Right. Let's get into the music. Dilbert, you were right all along. Bye. Now that everyone's gone because they didn't listen to what I said, God has sent them to hell. There's no one to listen to my podcast now except for a few of you wonderful patriots, and I hope you're listening. My name again is Bert. I am a fan of the New Jersey Devils Hockey Club organization. I will randomly change my accents because I went on TikTok for 5 minutes, and when I was done, I learned that I have a condition that makes me change my accent randomly all day. And I also have dissociative identity disorder. I have Tourette's, shit, cunt, and all that other stuff. Yeah, I had TikTok for a few minutes. Yeah, and deleted it immediately, and it's caused a lot of TikTok problems. Anyway, cut the shit out with the Tourette's, man. That one's stupid. Okay, yeah, the doctor I just saw the doctor left a voicemail saying my Tourette's has been cured. Isn't that fun? What else can I get? I wonder if I can get AIDS this way. What do you guys think? I don't know. I'll take a little smoke of this weed here. And then we could maybe discuss things like family and love and the bond between a man and his son, secret agents that spy on people, scammers who live in Nigeria that pretend they are princes. You're no prince. You're Prince of Shit Huts. Because why? Why in Africa, if they were kangs and were so wonderful, and they were, remember that it's always past tense because they aren't. If you go into any sort of village or part of Africa where there aren't what some of these racists call YT people, if they are not there, there's no infrastructure, there's no clean water, there's nothing like that. So, when y'all race hustlers come around talking about slavery, let me tell you a story about slavery. The slaves, you know what they did? The American slaves, which were the smallest amount of slaves to ever be enslaved in any nation in history. This was the smallest amount in history, but it seems like the only slavery that's ever talked about. Considering my grandparents, my own grandparents, were kidnapped. They were KIDNAPPED from ITALY and FRANCE as kids, brought to AFRICA, and they became slaves as young children born in their mid-30s. Now, in 1956, they didn't know each other as children, but they met and started a relationship. And while being slaves in Africa in the 50s, I would assume in 1955, my father was consummated in Tunisia. And May of 56, my father was born in Tunisia to two slaves. Now, let's not forget, the whole of Africa still has slaves to this day. And it's not racist slavery, and no slavery was racist. I'm going to get to a point in a second. But they still have slaves. No one says a word about that. And it's funny when these stupid celebrities were like, if Trump gets elected, I'm moving to Canada. Why don't you move to Africa? Huh? Doesn't anyone want to know why? Why don't they want to go to Africa? It's the motherland, isn't it? Isn't it fruitful and abundant? Don't they have such wonderful people that are so smart, and they build cities and rocket ships? Do you remember the rocket ship that they made? That was excellent. That was one of the best space voyages of all time. Point being, I am a under 40-year-old white male whose direct grandparents, my grandmother and grandfather, not great, were slaves until 1960. And if you think they were freed because slavery ended then, wrong again, Junior. They escaped. My father was born in 1956, so for 4 years, my father was a baby slave. And they escaped to America through the American consulate at the time. My grandmother took the baby and basically, take the baby and run. Take the baby and run. So, when people bring up slavery, remember the people that are talking about slavery are 99.999 with a bar over it percent, not a descendant of a slave, because there were not many. And there were not many descendants. Okay? Obviously, there are plenty of them, but not that many. And let's not forget the first slave owner in America was black. Let's not forget that also. So when people come to me and want reparations for slavery, right? They want reparations for fucking slavery. You were not a slave. Your grandparents weren't even slaves. Mine were in Africa. Give me reparations. Where's mine? Why do I even deserve them if my grandparents and my father were the ones who suffered? I don't. So I'm not going to go looking for it. Unfortunately, they're trying to, when I say they, everyone knows who they is. They is a term used, I'm not using it in the pronoun sense, like a wokester. I'm using it as a form of saying that anyone who's got the power and makes decisions, people who, let's say, attend the Bilderberg group sessions, things like that, those people, they want the slavery storyline to run rampant through America, because if you look, most of the people that are funding all the rioting and the destruction of this country aren't American. They're billionaires from other countries. A lot of them are in their 90s, and you wonder, why is this 98-year-old man still on a path to destruction, trying to destroy a country? Why is this guy not laying? If he's still got the energy and all that, like, good for you. It's from baby's blood, but good for you. If you got it and you're using it, why are you spending your time trying to destroy the world? You got like a year left. Why don't you do something? You got billions of dollars to spend in like 2 years, and you're spending it on giving Black Lives Matter millions of dollars to embezzle, like looking hopefully for riots to happen to destroy our cities. This is what's happening, and you know who I'm talking about. And he's not the only one, George Soros. I'll tell you, his last name is Soros, backwards. So Soros, if you switch it around, that's his name. Okay. So but there's so many more of them, and some of them are I forgot the guy's name. He was in Canada. He was part of this. He's a pedophile. He was like the Canadian Jeffrey Epstein, the guy with the long hair, Pierre-Luc Brunel. Is that his name? No, that's the French guy who was involved there. Excuse me, my throat is a little hurty. Um, yeah. So I don't hear the slavery bit, okay? Because here's my point now. I'm sorry I took so long to get to the point. Those people that were sold into slavery by Africans to Americans, specifically to people bringing them back to America, those the people that are descendants of those slaves are lucky. I'm not saying slavery was good. Do not see, this is where people quote things and stuff, but because someone sacrificed for you in the beginning, you now live in a free country, which if they were not sold to slavery, you would have been, if born at all, you would be born into probably at some tribe in Africa, and you wouldn't be able to go on TikTok and pretend that you have Tourette's or shit fuck or 45,000 personalities and 84 genders. You'd be in Africa walking 17 miles with 5 gallons of water on the top of your fucking head with your tits hanging out, girls. That's what you'd be doing right now. So you had some ancestors, came here, were treated much better than they were being treated where they were sold from in the first place. Of course, enslaving anyone is bad. That's why the people that I support ended slavery and fought to end slavery. However, slavery exists throughout the Middle East, throughout Africa, and I'm sure, in other places in Asia as well. Definitely China. There's active slavery going on right now. You want to stop? If you really care about slavery, you'd be talking about these things. You'd be talking about slavery, like trafficking of children for sexual purposes. This is a form of slavery. That's sex slavery. There's so much more than black people that were slaves in America. Okay? The slaves that weren't in America didn't have a bed. Okay? They didn't eat. They were beaten for nothing. I mean, that happened here too in some cases, absolutely. But they were treated humanely in the, for the most, for as humane as in that time you can get. None of us know what it is like to live in that time, okay? We have, like, I'm sitting in front of a computer with a microphone right now, with another piece of equipment next to me that's playing music, with a video, like all this. None of these things existed. That's just a little example of how different the world was, where you don't know what you would be thinking. People are always like, Hitler, oh, Hitler's so bad. Well, of course Hitler was bad, but what made him bad? Okay, that's what we need to know. So censoring the topic of just talking about the man is not helpful to society. It's a detriment to society. It's what makes society turn into what we have in America today. We want to know why these people grow into a mindset of wanting to eradicate a race. And I'll tell you, there's one out there right now, and it ain't white people that want to eradicate a race. There's a huge problem with anti-whiteism, and it's open um it's open game. Like, no one's gonna censor you if you threaten the life of a white person on the internet. Just the other day, a white man who was mowing his lawn, some uh, scholarly gentleman drove by, saw him, turned around, drove by again, thought, I'm assuming here, thinking, hey, well, they did say this, but I'm thinking this is maybe what happened at the time. He said, hey, let's go kill that white guy. Not that guy, that white guy. But we're not hearing about this story all over the news today, are we? No, of course not. Because those are scholars. Those are grade A gentlemen. And they were just defending themselves from that goddamn lawnmower that might have messed up their waves on their head. And you know what? It's sad. My dude, Mr. P, over here in New York, thank you for saving the lives of many people on our subway, sir. You're a hero. The man who believed he was Michael Jackson at some point, his family left him to rot in the subway. And the second he dies, do you see a tear from their eyes? No. You see dollar signs in their eyes. Okay? God, I'll tell you, if I was black and I had a son, there's a good chance that son would be involved in some sort of criminality. Sorry, it's just a fact, especially where I'm from. God, I know, in the 3 digits, that's how many people of that tone that I'm friendly with in my neighborhood, okay? Not one of them. Not one of them. Okay? You understand? I'm not going to say anymore. But they all have one thing in common. They all have criminal records. They don't have jobs, never did have one, and if they were given a job, they wouldn't even take it. Okay? These are problems in, when they say, how are we supposed to get out of the hood and this and that? God, I grew up in the hood. I don't live in the hood anymore. Yeah, I'm not a black person, but you know what? I might as well be, because everyone around me had the same exact opportunities as I did. But in their culture, it's not cool to learn or read a book or do anything positive. I grew up around this, okay? And it's not only gangs. This is just a straight up mentality of fatherless children trying to be adults at a young age. And when you try to be an adult when you're 11, you're going to be in prison when you're 18. This is just the way things go. I'm tired of hearing people talk about some fake statistics and stuff. Listen, the prisons are full of black people because black people commit crimes, okay? I'm going to say this straight up. I love all of you. I love every human being in the world. I don't care if you're, black or if you're white or if you're Asian. I don't care. I have respect for everyone, but there are certain people. And one of them is a group of people who do not have respect for me. So why do I have to give back? No. That's not cool. Wherever I go, if I'm the only W around, they let me know. Where I live now, okay? If you were of any race whatsoever, you could easily drive through my town, pull over on a random side street that you've never been on in your life, get out of your car, walk down every street in the neighborhood, get back in your car, go to the shopping center, go in every single store and not buy anything in any of these stores, and not one person's going to say anything mean to you or nasty. They're not even going to give you a look, okay? But I can drive a few miles away as a white man, and even driving not even getting out of my car, I'm a target. Okay? So this is a difference. Okay? This is a cultural difference. And when you can't talk about this because it's not politically correct, you cannot solve it. Okay? That's just how it goes. If you want to hear more reality, I don't even know where I'm posting this right now, but if you want to hear more stuff like this, please let me know. Like I said, I don't know where I'm posting this. This is my first time recording this way. But if you hear this and you want to discuss this, you want to call in and discuss with me, talk about it, I can make a chat room and do it through YouTube with a chat room and live stream, anything. If you guys want to hear that, let me know. If you want to be part of a truth movement, I'm not saying I'm starting it, but I'm parting it. I'm a part of this truth movement because free speech is in danger, one. And two, we need to be able to say things that are true in order to solve them. That's just it. Every problem out there, school shootings. Okay, you want to stop school shootings? Make sure there's someone at the door, and every door is locked in that building from the outside. No one can come in from the outside except for the main entrance where you have a security guard, armed or not, who asks, "What is your business here?" If it's not a child walking in, that they, or if they see something suspicious, they can ask what's in the bag. If an adult or someone who doesn't go to that school walks in, like let's say it's class time, everyone's in class, and some dude just walks in, and you're a security guard at the school, you see the kids, you never seen this dude before. Hey, someone's at the door there going, what, you late for class? What's going on? Who are you? You might save lives. That's all you got to do. And you know what? All these mothers and even fathers coming out after a school shooting, right? And you know what? God bless them. That's a horrible, horrible thing. But you know what? All they want to do is go after guns. It's just every time, we got to get rid of guns. But they never want to get rid of handguns. I mean, if you had you could put a bunch of handguns all over your body, walk into a place, and have much better aim and do so much more damage. But then they just want to get rid of the gun that's used in the incident. That's it. Whatever random incident. It's usually a long rifle. So why don't those people do something about it instead of just bitching on the internet? Probably Facebook, because they're usually a little older. Instead of bitching, and I did take this from, I don't remember who, it might have been Officer Brandon Tatum, I forgot who it was that said this, but why don't you take 2 hours out of your fucking day once a month and you sit at the door? And every parent, excuse me, every parent can they don't have to do it, but if you don't, you're gonna look like a dick and you'll get exposed, which is rightfully so. Okay, so if you want to keep your school safe, the first thing you do is all doors around the school are locked from the outside with no knobs to get in without some sort of buzz in, right? Second, you got the main entrance. You have a parent, and they go in shifts throughout the month. There's plenty of kids at schools. If they all have one parent that's willing to take 2 hours out of their day once every 2 months to sit at the door for 2 hours and just say, "Hey, what's your business at the school?" No one would be getting in these schools to do any of this stuff. Think about it. Thank you guys for listening to the Duck Taco podcast version. Don't know where this is being posted because this is the first time I've ever done it. I just started talking into a microphone, and in the meantime, I decided this will be called Duck Taco, the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you soon, or hear from you soon, or even smell you. If I'm not looking, my eyes are closed, you probably smell like, damp towels or a dog or something. No, but for real, thank you so much for watching, and if you like truth and reality, I hope You come back for more next time.